Welcome to the Temple of Limitless Light. These are a series of rituals and guided visualizations that we've created as part of our weekly class. If you'd like to join in, we have a Facebook link. It'll be in the description of the video. And if you follow, when we get to 1,000 followers, we can start sharing our art and everything on the page too. So please follow if you like. And if you join the Facebook group, you'll have access to the documents for all the different videos that we've put up. So tonight, what I'd like to do is a guided visualization meditation on spirit receptive, doing pore breathing, which is a Franz Bardon technique, which he published in his book, Initiation to the Hermetics. Franz Bardon is a wonderful writer, illuminated one of the greatest magicians of the 20th century. Well worth your study. These books are full of all kinds of exercises for visualization, yoga type techniques, and everything that are very useful and very powerful. And also published by my initiator, Franz Bardon, and Mastering the Art of Ritual Magic. So the pore breathing exercises probably came from an inspiration from Tibetan Buddhism. Tumo is something that I have familiarity with. I know there are a lot of other ones where you have an empty body technique, where you imagine your body empty and you're breathing in light and energy. And there's also a rainbow body technique. And probably those are the bases that were inspired people in the early 20th century that were into Hermeticism to adopt and adapt those exercises. Now, Franz Bardon took them to the 4 elements, and we've already done those. We put those up. And I'd like to extend them to spirit active and spirit passive. Now, we've already done spirit active, which is a very active, energetic energy that's very empowering, very charging. Now, spirit receptive is kind of the opposite, which we'll experience in a minute, where it's very relaxing, very calming. It's spirit receptive, spirit passive. The language is always a very difficult thing. Spirit active is like the energetic spirit energy that goes out and empowers things, that pushes. Spirit receptive is a softer, more like a black light energy that's very calming and receptive. And with these pore breathing exercises, we breathe in the elemental energies through every pore of our being. We'll do in a moment. As a way to both empower ourselves, to cleanse ourselves. There's a very cleansing effect because you imagine yourself breathing out all the toxins, that the energy comes in, cleans you out, and then pushes out the bad energy. But it also gives us an opportunity to really feel these energies in our body. And when we can feel these energies, when we do ritual, we think back to this exercise and how we felt, we can pull that energy and use it. So like when we do fire breathing, we experience fire energy. And we have the experience of fire energy. It's very healing, of like if we were feeling sick or anything. But when we're doing a ritual, I wouldn't say let's draw invoking fire pentagram, call up that energy. The spirit pentagrams are used to add more punch to the elemental pentagrams, which we'll talk about in the greater ritual of the pentagram. So what are the spirit pentagrams? Let me share my screen. So this is the classic pentagram with spirit at the top and elements arranged. So spirit active, we draw from fire to air. crossing this point here at the bottom of the pentagram, right under spirit. Spirit receptive, spirit passive, we connect earth and water. Earth and water are the passive elements. They take the shape of their container. They're the more placid elements, whereas fire is very energetic, air is very active. Earth and water are softer, more relaxed sort of energies. And so we connect those two across this point, which, let me pull it on. If we look at this drawing of a person inside the pentagram, you can see how like the bottom points are like the legs and the side points are like the arms. The top point is like the head. Spirit's up there with the head. But this point at the bottom is like the Muladhara chakra, the chakra that at the base of the spine. That's the place where spirit energy enters the world. That's where you create life. That's where people are incarnated, the birth canal. And so we want to cross that point to activate the spirit energy. And that's where that comes from. And let's see. The gate, the great table. So when we're invoking the different elements, in this practice, we're going to use the Enochian words. And spirit active comes from the table of union, where we've got EH and B. And if we want to do spirit receptive or passive, we just reverse the course of those letters. The Enochian names taken from the Great Table can be said forwards or backwards. And there's a lot of different ways to manipulate to get different energies, to very specific energies that we can work with. But EH and B is spirit of spirit, and that would be the active form. BH, BNHE, the energy running in the opposite direction, more passive. And so that's where that's coming from. Maybe we could do a class just on Enochian. So here's my old table of union. So you can see yellow is for air, water, green for earth, and red for fire. So EH and B. BNHE is the spirit name that we're going to use. We're also going to be using the sign of closing of the veil when we get to it. And you think, well, why are we closing the veil? Normally we do the opening when we're opening up a dimension. Well, closing, think of it as it's too bright outside and you're trying to relax. You're trying to rest on a bright summer day and you want to close the curtains. So the bright light of summer will not come in, and just the cool evening light through your curtains will come in to light the room, just a nice sort of blue, relaxing, dark way. Okay, so that's the explanation of where this is coming from. And why don't we go ahead and begin? We'll start with the Kabbalistic cross to connect and ground, balance our energies. And then we'll do some empty body, where we just imagine ourselves breathing in prana. And then we'll move into spirit receptive, the first level, where we're just going to visualize. And then we'll do the spirit pentagram, which will be drawn. And I'll walk us through this from your right hip, your left shoulder, complete the pentagram, and then we'll power it up. And I'll walk us through all of that. And then we'll sit with that for a little while, and then we'll ground again and be done. Okay, so let's start with the Kabbalistic cross. Do some belly breathing, breathing from the very bottom of your belly. Deeply but comfortably. Visualize yourself growing larger and larger till your head goes up through the sky, through the atmosphere, into space, past the moon, out into the universe. You become so large that the earth looks like a small ball beneath your feet. Visualize a ball of pure brilliance up above your head and reach up and touch the brilliance, bring it down to your forehead and vibrate. Bring the light down to your heart center, where you can secretly, quietly say the name of your guru or your deity, your higher self. Then bring the light down through the center of your body, through the central channel, down into the earth, to the very fiery core of the planet. So you're standing in a column of light. And vibrate. Malkut. Bring the light up to your left shoulder and visualize a ball of blue flame or Hesed, representing compassion, unconditional love for all sentient beings. Vegedula. Bring the light across to your right shoulder and visualize a ball of red flame representing your judgment, your will, your wisdom. Vegebura. Leolam. Amen. So let's go into empty body visualization. Visualize your body as just being an empty shell. And as you breathe, visualize it flowing into your body through every pore, through every atom of your being. Life energy, the prana, the energy of the universe that surrounds you, filling up your body. And as you exhale, visualize through every pore of your being, stale, used up energy flowing out back into the universe to be recharged and repeat the circuit. Breathe deep, but in a comfortable way. You can do a 4-fold breath. But visualize your body being filled with life force and the old stale energy flowing away. You can use whatever breathing technique you're comfortable with. You can lift your perineum, but you should definitely be breathing from the bottom of your belly. Let's just do a couple more breaths till we're filled with life-giving energy. And this can be done anytime and really should be your natural way of breathing. Not just through your mouth and your lungs, but through your whole being. taking in and releasing the prana from around you. Now let's visualize the energy of spirit receptive. Imagine yourself in a universe filled with a light that is dark, like a black light, like the darkness at night where you can just barely see with the moon, or a black light, purple, like illuminating through the darkness. A darkness that you can see in, that you can feel. The coolness, the dark, the quiet, the calmness at night. At night, when there's nothing more to do than to rest and to be calm and rejuvenate. Imagine a time when you were at night, when you were resting, and you felt at peace. And now you're an entire universe of that energy. A light that is not dark because it flows through you and around you, calms you, and protects you. As you breathe it in, imagine it sort of rejuvenating your mind, all the energies that you've expended during the day. Like the energies of dream that come to help us sort things out and digest everything that's happened. The rest that allows us to rebuild and rejuvenate and reorganize. And as you exhale, all the tense energies, all the places where you're holding yourself taut, tense, all the tension just flowing away. The spirit receptive energy is completely accepting. This is the time of rest and rejuvenation to rebuild. Let's take a few breaths and just see what comes up. Sitting within our blacklight universe. Ah. So now seated in our black light energies, our black light universe, let's invoke spirit receptive, starting at our left hip. I might have gotten it wrong earlier. Let's draw the spirit receptive, invoking pentagram. Like the left hip, up to the right shoulder, cross to the left shoulder, down to the right hip, up to the top of the head, then back down to the left hip, and we repeat the final bar. Then we have a dark purple, black energy pentagram in front of us. Now let's fill that with a purple energy, right, vibrating Benuhe. Benuhe. Push the energy into it. And then make the symbol of the closing of the veil. We're closing the curtains so that only dark light, so all calmness can come through. Now let's absorb the energy back from the spirit pentagram into our beings, through every cell, every atom of our being. The energy we don't often work with. Feel how cool it is. It's powerful, but it's calming. As you inhale it, feel its cool, calming energies coming in. And as you exhale, through every pore of your being, any feelings of aggression, of tension, of forcefulness flowing out of your being. Let's sit and have a few breaths with spirit receptive. What comes up for you with this energy? Any aggressive energies come up that you're reminded of? Let's say flow out of your being. Energy we don't often work with. This calming, receptive, passive energy. Now sit and try to just feel it in your body. Try to remember how you feel at this moment, so that in the future, if you need to invoke spirit passive again, you can touch back into this flow of energy. All right. So now when you're ready, let's do the reverse spiral from the center out, dispersing the pentagram, breaking the lines of force, lowering the energy levels. Breathing out, spirit passive, going back to ourselves, to our body of light. And the Kabbalistic cross to balance and seal these energies in. Eto, Malkut, Vigadula, Vegavura, Leolam. Amen. Feel free to sit in this energy as long as you'd like, or to extend it. Thank you very much.